10, 9, 8, ignition sequence start. Engines armed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engines running. Launch commit. Liftoff. We have liftoff at 9:34 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Armstrong is on the moon on this July 20th, 1969.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Hey, well, I'm Bob McCall. I've been an artist all my life. I am one of those privileged and blessed people, I think, that has been working at work that never seemed like work. So I've never worked a day in my life. As a young boy, I mean pre-teenage, 11, 12 years old, I knew that I could draw. I remember an incident where I was in the first grade and the teacher from the second grade sent a young student over and asked if Bobby McCall could come over and draw on the blackboard. And I did that, but I remember that moment vividly. I was fascinated with nature and the world around me. The universe around me just blew me away. And I think stimulated this great desire to know more about it. And I wanted to be a magazine illustrator. I wanted to be what at that time I called a top illustrator. That seemed to be a term that described the kind of artist I wanted to be. I aspired to work for Life magazine. It was a magazine that I admired, and some of the great illustrators worked for Life magazine. Now, curiously, when I was not classified a pilot, by virtue of the fact that I'm colorblind, by the way, which is kind of a curious thing. Everybody gets a kick out of that, and I did at the time. Only I was very dismayed because it meant that I could be a bombardier and find targets on the ground, but I couldn't fly. I did sketchings from the position of the bombardier up in the glass nose that allows the bombardier this sweeping view. So I started working for Life. That was the big event, and that was in 1956. And they had a very special project for me to work on. It was the serialized story written by Walter Lord of the Day of Infamy, the attack on Pearl Harbor. But that was a breakthrough and a wonderful opportunity to work for a magazine that I admired. And then following that came other assignments from Life, including one that was very special to me, which was painting a series of paintings, big color spreads that appeared in the magazine, of the future, the spacecraft of the future. NASA felt the need for documenting these major events in fine art. I got a call from them to an invitation to witness some of these events as they took place. But I grabbed at that and have been on many such assignments for NASA. It truly is one of the most theatrical experiences anybody can have. Oh, it's just that kind of thing that I have gravitated to and made every effort to make happen. I saw the first shuttle launch. I was with the astronauts in their dressing room. But I watched the launch, and then I flew out to Edwards Air Force Base, where the landing occurred. One so different from the other, the launch being all that theatrical drama, fire and fury and sound, awesome sound, and the landing so quiet over this pristine desert in the morning, sunshine. But I was very moved and impressed by both of those events, and I painted them both. some people from MGM called me, and I had work in Life magazine that Stanley Kubrick had used as a jumping off place for some of the concepts that were seen in 2001: A Space Odyssey, which continues to be a classic science fiction film, one of the great ones. The paintings that I did for Kubrick would depict major events in the film in the way I wanted to depict them. And it was displayed, a painted replica about a city block long, up high at Times Square. And these are enormous billboards, bigger than any that one ever sees. It was my first mural, but it was a tremendous opportunity to do something very important and deal with a subject that was number one in my heart, the achievement of landing on the moon. And I worked on a scaffold, and I worked there for 6 full months in the summer and winter of 1975. Well, I'll tell you why I moved to Arizona. I was so taken by the landscape and the skies and the clouds. I had just turned 50. I had just signed the contract for my first book, Our World in Space. Isaac Asimov had just agreed to write the text for it. And so I had a bunch of paintings to do. I had a year's work ahead of me. So I wasn't worried about a check coming in. And I never have regretted that move. One of the most important achievements, I think, is the stained glass window, 10 minutes from here, at the Valley Presbyterian Church. 160 feet of stained glass, 30,000 pieces, and it's the universe, again, and unique for that reason. It's not typical religious imagery. It's really just the universe. Then another mural that I'm very proud of is the Spirit of Arizona mural. And it's the story of the state of Arizona and the people that established it, the Indians and the Spanish. And it's quite a successful work, I think. I really, at this stage in my life, feel so privileged and fortunate to have, early in my life, discovered something that I really love doing, and a subject, a very big subject, that I love contemplating and then painting, and to recognize in myself, as the years and the decades have gone by, that I have been communicating something of value. And that, I think, if I can feel that I have caused somebody to think just a little bit more, a little deeper about the privilege of being alive, and it's a wonderful feeling to feel that if I don't do another painting, I will feel content.
Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition, and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in a tin can.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Arizona Historymaker Honoree, Mr. Robert McCall.